The following is a presentation of ABC 27 Sports.
From ABC 27 and Advanced Hoops, it's High School Sports Live, presented by Arlington Orthopedic. Tonight, boys high school basketball, a Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division battle between the Rollers of Steel High and the Cougars of Harrisburg High. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Harrisburg High School. I'm John Reppitz of ABC 27, joined by Advanced Hoops Director Charlie Fortney and the coach, Todd McCall. Harrisburg Steel High. This rivalry has been the benchmark for years in the Harrisburg area, the Mid-Penn Conference, District 3, and the entire state of Pennsylvania. Charlie, I'm going to start with you. You played your high school ball at Steel High. This is the rivalry of all rivalries in the area. From the player's perspective, is this just another game or is this really something special?
Well, first off, the Steel High Harrisburg rival is probably the most special event in basketball that I've ever participated in. So for the players, no matter what the record, you can throw that out the window. They're here to play tonight and compete, and I'm really proud of young coach Tremaine Hawthorne. He's told his players that tonight's a chance to compete and just learn how to win. Whether on the scoreboard or not, they definitely challenge tonight against a tough Harrisburg ball club, but to compete and step up on this big stage.
And we'll talk to Todd. Now, when you talk about the Harrisburg Cougars, they had a 5-game winning streak snapped their last time out. When you talk about the Cougars this year, it starts with number 11, Hashim McIntyre.
Well, McIntyre is such a mature player, but it really starts with his defense and this team's defense. You look at this clip, tenacity on defense, ball on the floor, McIntyre picks it up, shows you a soft touch, and then calls for an actual pick and roll, pulls up from three. Very mature player. That's why he's going to play at a high level. And tonight, he makes this thing click with 20-plus points.
Okay, finally, Charlie, the Rollers have a proud tradition, 5 state championships in 20 years, but it's been a struggle lately. With just 1 win last year, only 2 so far this year. What can we expect from them tonight?
They've been in a lot of close battles, and I think many coaches in the area have a lot of respect for what Steel High under Tremaine Hawthorne has done so far this year. They've been in a lot of close battles, and Tremaine is making a good decision. He's playing 9 to 10 players and really developing a team camaraderie and a confidence that hopefully can pay off toward the end of the season here and possibly jumpstart this team going into next year.
Okay, the stage is set. It's Harrisburg Steel High. Stay tuned. I guarantee it's going to be intense and it's going to be fast-paced. Sit back and enjoy. Opening tip is coming your way next.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
For generations, Caterpillar has delivered innovative products that help customers build strong, profitable businesses. And for more than 60 years, Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company has been Pennsylvania's source for first-class Caterpillar equipment, service, parts, and rentals. With 26 locations across Pennsylvania, we've grown right alongside our customers, delivering on our commitment to provide a superior experience and maximum value. Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company, helping Pennsylvania prosper since 1948.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us. We believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
Courtside here at Harrisburg High, getting ready for the tip-off of the Steel High Rollers and the Harrisburg Cougars in a big key battle in Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division. Little pregame ceremony going on. Charlie, you want to tell us what that was about?
Yeah, we're proud that High School Sports Live this year and all the coaches and players and the participants, there's a greater effort this year. It's to bring an awareness to Project ALS to fight Lou Gehrig's disease. And thanks to our friends at Cleveland Brothers for bringing this initiative to us. We're excited to be a part of that.
This game, we're not really sure. It's a great rivalry, but when you look at the statistics, you're not quite sure how it's going to play out. So both teams, or Harrisburg coming in 5-2. They started off with a loss, then rattled off 5 straight wins and had a loss their last time out. Steel High just the other way around. They started with the win, had 5 losses, and then won the last time out.
Yeah, and Harrisburg's not afraid to play that top competition, playing Berks Catholic with Marquise Marshall, Division I. Donovan Jack going to Duquesne at 6'8", Division I. And Steel High, much more competitive this year, much more competitive. They're under Tremaine Hawthorne. They were young last year. They're even getting more and more confidence. And I had a couple close ones this year, John, especially against Central Dauphin.
Here's the starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Steel High Rollers, Jordan Milbury and Trent Chisholm in the backcourt. Going to be joined by their leading scorer, J.C. Brandt. And then the big guys up front, Anthony Ferguson and Mark Perry. Imagine J.C. Brandt, the Rollers' leading scorer at 14 points a game. Now we're getting ready for the hometown Cougars as the crowd starts to get into this.
Got Jarrell Patterson at the point, Stephen Stoney at power forward, Sheen McIntyre averaging 25-plus points a game. Combo guard James Easel and Chris Britton around the basket for Harrisburg.
There's Mr. Patterson coming out.
Yeah, Jarrell Patterson provides that quickness, John, at the point. He kind of allows Hashim McIntyre as a senior to score the basketball and not have to worry about the point guard responsibilities this year, which is one of the reasons why Hashim McIntyre is leading the entire region in scoring. I mean, I'm just sitting here talking earlier to Mike Bullock from the Patriot News. I mean, when's the last time a guy's averaged this amount of points per game like Hashim McIntyre, especially at a guard spot? I mean, this is, he's racking up the points this year. So.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Well, for Steel High, we have they need to show different defensive fronts. They also need to use their timeouts to stop the runs, and then also they need to keep the score low, under 45 to 50 points. Try to control the ball because Harrisburg's going to want to run it. For Harrisburg, they're going to need to press the Rollers from the bus. Just try to shake up a lot of things and get the young players for Steel High to make up a lot of mistakes. Also, let McIntyre and Patterson just run and do what they do best and finish on the break. And also have the zone offense ready because Steel High is going to change it up a lot tonight and make it very interesting for Harrisburg. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free
That, folks, is Mr. Ronald Chambers of Harrisburg with our national anthem tonight. So we are just about set for the opening tip. Harrisburg Steel High, and when we've been talking about this game in the past, we've always said all you have to do is just say the names of the two schools. Harrisburg Steel High, that says it all. So we're getting ready, doing some research for this game. I came across one, if the math is correct, these teams have been playing for 40 years, since the early 70s, and this, I believe, is the 90th meeting between the two schools. So we'll see how this one goes.
I'll tell you what, John, it's definitely a rivalry for the ages. There's a lot of rivalries that are talked about out there. Oh, Reading, Steel High. You talk about, the rivalry over there at Cedar Cliff, Redlands, CDs. But the Steel High Harrisburg rivalry is painted with over 40 to 50 Division I basketball players. Steel High has 28,000-point scorers. Harrisburg tends to go not have as many 1,000-point scorers because they're by committee, but 1,000-point scorer that's in the house tonight who leads Harrisburg in the history of scoring is Fonzo Dawson from Delaware, and he's here tonight to watch the game. We'll be getting a sideline interview with Fonzo later. Graduated from the University of Delaware and scored 1,000 points at Delaware as well.
And we are underway. Cougars in the home white. Feed down inside, up and in. First basket of the game goes to Harrisburg's Steven Stoney.
Yeah, and Harrisburg handled that zone very well. Steel High came out in a zone to try to change it up, but they did a good job of rotating the ball and got a layup. Jordan Milbury at the point, John, is a player that has a lot of tenacity, and pound for pound is as good as you get. And he's a player to watch tonight for Steel High.
Trent Chisholm, tough drive to the hoop, not quite. Back come the Cougars to the hoop. It's McIntyre. Gets the basket and the foul. Move like that shows you why he's averaging 26 a game.
Yeah, he makes it look easy, too.
Anthony Ferguson of the Rollers picks up the first foul. So it's going to be McIntyre going to the line.
And Hashim's one of those guys that has chosen, probably pretty smart, to choose to wait to just play into his senior year. He plays well in a team system. Gets a chance for Harrisburg to show what he can do in transition, and 29 a game. He's going to land a nice. He's a good student too. Goes to the Sci Tech. He's going to land a nice college opportunity.
Off the miss, the Cougars had another miss.
There's J.C. Brandt, number 11, as quick as you can get. Man, I'll tell you, averaging 14 a game. He's the shining spot for Steel High this year at 14 a game. J.C. Brandt, number 11, senior.
Feed went inside to Perry, but he was fouled going to the hoop. First foul for the Cougars is on Chris Britton. So it's going to be Mark Perry, 6-foot junior, going to the line. He will shoot two. And the Rollers are on the board.
That's a good sign early to knock down a foul shot and get some penetration. Talking to Coach Tremaine today, he had a great perspective for a young coach. I mean, he's not coming in this game all tight and all pressed. He just wants 9 to 10 guys to experience this game. He wants to win, but he wants the guys to compete every possession because he knows to build this team for the future, he's got to develop a bunch of competitors, guys that are willing to step up to the challenge that not only he stepped up to, but his counterpart on the bench, Tristan Crawford, stepped up. When already it's 4-3, he's created a nice start already. This is much better than last year already, John.
That was Trent Chisholm with the basket off the turnover.
Extended 3-2, smart. Make Harrisburg think about it. Nice
feed inside
to Chris Britton. Yes, nice feed.
Just about 2 minutes gone, opening quarter. Harrisburg leads at 6-3. Rollers, J.C. Brandt. Stolen by McIntyre. Cougars on the run. McIntyre to the hoop, lays it up, doesn't get the roll. It's Brandt coming back the other way for the Rollers. Gonna pop the three-pointer, no good. battle for the loose ball underneath. That's Perry with the follow, no good. Here come the Cougars running the other way.
Here's Junior
Taking it
Jarrell.
to the hoop. Patterson, he's fouled.
Yeah, Junior Jarrell Patterson is quick as lightning. We'll see that as the game goes on. He knows how to push the basketball.
Here's the replay of this one. Patterson taking it right down the lane, and then there's the foul. You said quick as lightning, Charlie. When you talk Steel High Harrisburg, is there anybody who plays in this game who is not quick?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's been a lot of quick ones throughout the years. I'm thinking of guys like Walt Chavis. I'm thinking of Tremaine Hawthorne.
And Charlie Fortney?
Well, I don't know if I was quick. I know I tried to shoot the ball a lot. I played with a guy named Craig Brown that was pretty quick. He was the captain of the Florida Gators Final Four team, so there's quick.
Cougars missed 2 foul shots, so we're still stuck at 6-3 as we approach the 5-minute mark in the opening quarter. And there's a step on the end line there for the Rollers, so the turnover. That means the Cougars are going to bring the ball up. It's Jarrell Patterson out front. Feed inside, passes stolen. Brent picks up the loose ball.
Tell you what, this 3-2, John, is giving Harrisburg a little bit of problems early. You know, it's probably a good experience for Harrisburg to have to go up against this. They've been playing against the competition. They just got done playing Reading. Berks Catholic, who has the manpower to man up with them. But, yeah, that 3-2, it was a good start for Steel High to try to get some tempo going.
Millbury drives the baseline, has it swatted out of bounds. Rollers are going to retain possession. 4:28 to go, opening quarter. Still 6-3 favor the Cougars. Steel High showing patience on offense. Brent backs it out, now drives the lane, takes it in, dishes, and over the end line, and Rollers are going to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, it must have went off a Harrisburg player there. It looked like it was just a turnover, but I tell you, this J.C. Brandt, how quick is he? Wow. That penetration can keep a team in the game if they can knock down a few shots here. Do you hear me rooting for Steel High a little bit here?
And there's a turnover. Cougars looking to run. Patterson.
I talked to Smallwood before the game, and I said to Kirk, I said, you know, and Kirk coached me when I was a kid. You know, and I said, Kirk, you know I'm for tonight, don't you? And he said, well, you should be. I think a lot of people that have, a lot of players that have played in this rivalry, whether you're on Harrisburg or Steel High's side, you're just kind of for the rivalry after a while. You're kind of for the, you know, you want to see a good game. You want to see it like it's been when it's been at its best.
Brandt pulls up, hard off the back iron, no good. Rebound loose on the floor. Perry brings it down, but he went to the floor and is called for the travel.
You know what? Now I know what Tremaine's talking about. He talked about Mark Perry as like a Rodman-like player. Here he goes up, skies after that, and you know, Perry, one of those unsung players. You know, he's just getting a handle on every loose ball. And Max Salov in the game. Max can provide the three-point shot. Also, a little bit of brawn around the basket, but he can provide the three-point shot for Steel High.
Shaquin McNeil also checks in for the Rollers. Pass inside, tipped away. Rollers come up with a loose ball once again. Millbury to the front court.
I'm surprised Harrisburg's laying back a little, not applying that full court pressure, you know.
There's McNeil, the long three-pointer is good. That's going to knot us at 6.
Wow, he had ice in his veins. He's been sitting on the bench for, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and he comes in like nothing. And here's Hashim McIntyre showing why he averages a little over. Actually, it's a little over 29 a game. Mike Bullock is telling me here. And he's got 5.
And he answers right back. 3 minutes left, opening quarter. 9-6 Cougars. Brandt out front. Intensity starting to pick up just a little bit. McNeil dumps it back out. Couple of substitutions on the floor also for Harrisburg. Number 15, Jaquil Wright is in the game. Brant drives, nowhere to go, and they're going to call him for shuffling the feet in the lane. Nine Harrisburg. They get possession. That's right out front. McIntyre.
Looks like Hashim has gained an inch or two in the offseason here. Definitely looks more 6'1", legit here. You know, you might want to say, why do players who are, you know, college-bound players, why do they wait and not sign early? Well, you know, it's a lot of times it has to do with you may have schools interested in you, but you might not have the one that rings a bell with you, the one that is the place that you want to major in that type, or the right atmosphere that you're looking for.
Perry tried to make the tough move inside, was called for the offensive foul. 5th Steel High turnover already in the opening quarter. Minute and a half to go. Cougars up 3.
Steel High more of a 2-3 now, changing it up. Tremaine definitely warned me of this. He was going to be changing things up. And this
Stoney pass inside, picked off. It was intended for Lumpkin.
Smallwood has a second 5 in for the most part, with the exception of McIntyre, trying to get everybody in this game early. Probably not happy with the overall defensive pressure of the first group. Not afraid to set a tone, though, that's for sure, and get these other guys in the game. Look at this.
To the hoop is McIntyre, who lays it in.
It's like there's one guy that you can't stop. He's got 7 of the 11, and then the rest of the guys you're keeping in check, you know? That's what you call a college basketball player.
Bill Berry, no good. Cougars coming out, half a minute to go. Lead pass up ahead, and a hard foul as Andrew Thompson took it hard to the hoop. Here's another look at this. Nice lead pass ahead by Stoney to Thompson, and the foul. 27 seconds left. It's going to be Andrew Thompson, a 6'5" senior, going to the line. He's going to shoot 2. 14 fouls for the Rollers, just 1 for the home Cougars. And Thompson will shoot a second.
This is a guy that Coach Smallwood, John, has talked about.
Makes both.
He's coming along for them, provides a nice spark off the bench for them. Andrew Thompson, another young player coming back, you know.
Brant back in the game for the Rollers, turns it over. Here comes McIntyre. Cougars looking to run. Lead pass Thompson. Reverse layup, no good. Salov with a rebound. Rollers can get one last shot. Under 10 seconds. And traveling is called on Roy Pilsitz in the far corner. Just under 4 seconds to go. Cougars might get one last shot at it. And they roll it in, and then McIntyre picks it up at midcourt. Couple of dribbles, three-point shot, no good. Late burst there by the Cougars. They have a 7-point lead. It's 13-6 Harrisburg over Steel High. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Select Physical Therapy College Spotlight. Former team captain for Steel High, Ryan Hill has elevated his game to a point guard spot for Patriot League powerhouse Bucknell University. After averaging over 14 points per game during her senior year, Lady Cougar alum Stacia King is set to rock the house this year at Duquesne University. Harrisburg standout Alfonso Dawson recently ended his career at Delaware, hitting the 1,000 points mark. Ryan, Stacia, and Alfonso are tonight's Select Physical Therapy College Spotlight.
Be sure to join Charlie Fortney as he talks with senior Arlington Orthopedics MD Dr. Michael Cordes on the dramatic consequences concussions can have on younger athletes. Dr. Cordes discusses the critical issues concerning concussions such as immediate symptoms, the more lasting post-concussive syndrome, and more. He goes on to cover a recent example of a young high school football player who suffered a very significant concussion and how he was effectively treated by the staff at Arlington Orthopedics. For the full interview, PASportsLiveTV.com.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
Also remember to check out High School Sports Live by liking our page on Facebook.
Is starting to show up. They want to play at a fast pace because that's what Still High has done for a long, long time. But there's still, the hands aren't sure. You see some mistakes up the floor. One of the things they're talking about is maybe walking up the floor, getting a good look. On the other side, Harrisburg-wise, when you have Hashim McIntyre, he makes varsity-type plays, and that's the leadership right now, and that's been the difference in this game. Back to you guys.
Quick hands on defense by the Cougars, and McIntyre takes it in and was fouled as he takes it up to the hoop.
Yeah, speaking of that difference, Todd, very good analysis. And there is Hashim McIntyre. Hashim looking at Steve Cover, our official, asking for the double tech. He knows he got pushed right in the back there, and that was definitely borderline, but he was being a good sport about it. But wow, how smooth. How smooth is Hashim McIntyre? Holy cow.
McIntyre to the line, makes the first. And he will shoot a second.
Yeah, looking at his physical demeanor, even from the summer, he's been in the weight room. Hats off. This kid's been working on his game. These coaches at Harrisburg do a good job. You got Coach Smallwood, you got Wes Bear on the defensive side, you got Ross Proctor in these kids' ear. It's kind of like coaching by committee, and Coach Smallwood's smart. He surrounds himself with a lot of energy, and he does a really good job preparing these kids in the offseason.
Now the Cougars picking it up with a full court press on defense, but Brandt breaks it with a long pass.
This is an important stage for Steel High to answer.
McNeil with a shot is fouled in the act of shooting.
Hitting a couple foul shots here would be a part of that answer, but they were on a little drought there. It's been a little while since they've had a basket, since the three-pointer that McNeil
we were tied
made.
at 6.
Yeah, when McNeil came in the game earlier.
And Harrisburg's rattled off 9 straight now, so McNeil's going to go to the line to try to end that Cougar 9-0 run, and does. He'll shoot a second. In that opening quarter, Harrisburg 4 for 10 on 2-point attempts. Misses the second. Cougars with the ball.
Dominique Lewis, number 5, the biggest kid on the court at 6'5".
Long three-pointer. Patterson, no good, off the rim, and loose ball out of bounds. It's going to go to the Rollers.
Give Steel High credit. They're scrapping just to hang in this game here.
You like us on Facebook. Go to High School Sports Live for photos, videos, highlights, updates, and more. Keep up on top of all the action of High School Sports Live. Back to the action as Steel High's J.C. Brandt drives the lane and makes the basket. Here it is one more time. Takes it down, gets the foul, and the basket.
Well, and I don't think You know, it's 15-10 here. This is a game, and I don't know if Coach Smallwood. We got the clock running here. I don't know if Coach Smallwood expected for this to be a 5-point game.
6 points. They waved that basket.
Oh, they waved
off
the basket on the foul shot with
foul
6
line
minutes,
violation.
50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Steel High's happy with this pace right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Pass inside, ball loose.
There's Mark Perry, Rodman, Tremaine Hawthorne. I talked about Rodman.
Lead pass, and there's a block over the end line.
Nice block by Andrew Thompson.
Rollers possession along the baseline under the basket. They trail 15-9. 6.5 to go until halftime. Loose ball knocked away. Cougars retain possession.
Yeah, close to a back court there.
Brandt out front. McNeil, tough shot, no good. Rebound, Anthony Ferguson gets the hoop. So it's a 4-point game, 15-11 as we approach the 6-minute mark of tonight's second quarter.
Anthony Ferguson, a freshman for Steel High.
Patterson, it's McIntyre. Will Wright. McIntyre on the far side. Rollers packing it in with the zone defense, and we are going to have a timeout call. Coach Smallwood apparently not quite happy with the way his team's attacking that zone defense. So we have 5:27 to go in the opening quarter. Host Cougars lead by 4. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hello, can I help you? Oh, no need to worry, Mrs. Smith. My grandfather is Russ Failer himself, and he has been in business for over 30 years. At Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales, we have it all. We specialize in selling a complete line of trailers, a variety of used cars, and campers. Our service department can do it all, and we even have a nice guy named Justin who answers the phone.
Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales.
And what do we tell him, Maddie?
Nobody fusses at Russ's. I'm the real boss.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Harrisburg leads it over Steel High 15-11. Coming out of the commercial break, Harrisburg's Hasheen McIntyre was fouled on a drive to the hoop, so he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Steel High with 16 fouls now. Next one will put Harrisburg in the bonus. McIntyre does not get the roll on the first one, so he will shoot a second. So far in the runs here, we are tied at 6. Harrisburg scored the next 9. Steel High has come back to score the last 5. McIntyre too strong with a second shot. And the Rollers pull down the rebound. That's Jordan Milbury. Cougars in a man defense. Pass inside. McNeil. Tough spin. No good. Rebound, gets it back, underneath, dishes, little jumper in the lane, good. That's Broderick Simmons Settles with his first basket of the night. And we are now into a 2-point game. It's 15-13.
That Ferguson is playing with a lot of poise, John. Just a nice little lefty shot in the lane. I mean, these are kids that have watched the Steel High Harrisburg rivalry for years. Still has a chance to tie
Another
the game.
steal. Milbury to the hoop. Off the glass. No good. Follow. No good. Here come the Cougars the other way. Patterson to the hoop. No good. Rebound underneath. Follow up and in by Stephen Stoney. Cougars by 4. Back the other way for Steel High. To the hoop. Strong.
I'll tell you what.
Broderick. Simmons settles.
Steel High has a nice pace here. They're picking moments. J.C. Brandt's doing a good job picking moments to get his opportunities, but at the same time, they're not afraid to slow it down. They're creating some different tempo and pace here.
Steal by the Rollers once again. It's Brandt out front. Foul away from the ball. Our officials tonight, that's Steve Cover with a call on that one. He's being joined by Rick Staines and Doug Hartzog. The unsung heroes doing a good job again tonight. 3:46 to go, opening quarter.
Yeah, they often get criticized, but I'll tell you, the PIW officials do a very good job. The Mid-Penn puts out some of the best, led by Donnie Epley in the chapter.
Long three-pointer, Brandt no good. Stoney with a rebound for the Cougars as they run the other way. Stoney to the hoop, off the glass, no good, he's fouled. That was a coast-to-coast. So Stoney's going to go to the line for 2. Charlie, what can Coach Smallwood do to kind of quicken the pace of this game? He briefly there went to the full court press to see if that could force the issue.
Well, it's kind of hard because, you know, there's the fear that if you intensify the pressure up front, that you can get in foul trouble. And one thing Steel High is strong at here with this young team is they're very quick. So they're able to single-handedly break a press. And good timeout by Tremaine Hawthorne.
Consequently, what could Hawthorne do to try to keep the pace and counteract what Coach Smallwood's trying to do?
You know, he's doing a good job, Tremaine. It's just like you talked about before the game that you know, he's going to change it up. He's going to go to zone, and a little bit of man, a little bit of 2-3, a little bit of 1-3-1. You know, we've seen a lot of stuff here from Tremaine, but he's also trained the guys to take your opportunities when you can, speed it up and then slow it down. Very scrappy. They are collapsing on the collapsing in the post, getting a lot of easy steals, and they're handling this press really well because they're going up against 2 of the best guards in the area in Patterson and McIntyre.
3.5 till halftime. Stay with us. We're going to have our halftime shootout coming up. Give some folks in the crowd a chance to win some prizes.
Yeah, the shootout. We moved it in this year. We're no longer the NBA three-pointer, John. It's more the regular high school three this year.
Jumper near side, no good. Here come the Cougars running the other way. McIntyre shuts off, pulls up, no good. Rollers with a rebound. Back the other way. Milbury, far corner, three-pointer, good. 1-point game. It's 19-18. Favor of the Cougars. 2:45 left.
Talking to one of the fans before the game who loves Jordan Milbury, one of the longtime fans. They made a comment that Jordan Milbury might be the best pound-for-pound player that Steel High's had, and you see on that play right there, saw tough as nails from the corner hitting that three.
Well, he's listed at 5'6".
He's only a sophomore. Started or played a lot at Susquehanna Township last year, but a Steelton native.
For Harrisburg, Chris Britton was fouled underneath as he tried to go underneath the hoop for a layup. So he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. 18 fouls now on the Rollers, only 4 for Harrisburg in the opening half.
And there's a look at Tremaine. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I mean, one of the best halves of basketball I've ever seen was Tremaine Hawthorne's 32 points against Harrisburg when he was a senior in high school. I mean, he's used to this moment. He's poised. He played 4 years at Drexel, scored 1,000 points in high school, 2,000 points in high school, scored a lot of points at Drexel. You know, so he's comfortable in this situation as a player.
And he continues to shuttle his players in and out. We get a couple more substitutions for the Rollers. Milbury had his layup attempt swatted over the end line.
One guy he won't take out, I'll guarantee you, is J.C. Brent. J.C.'s logging a lot of miles here tonight for him, a lot of energy. And we saw this last year in this rivalry. J.C. played a lot in this game and gave him a lot of energy. It wasn't near as close of a game.
Shaquin McNeil has it stolen by the Cougars. Back the other way. Loose ball picked up by McNeil. And we have a reach-in foul right at midcourt, right in front of our broadcast position. It's only the 5th team foul on the Cougars, so Rollers will inbound right in front of our desk. Both teams 9 turnovers in the opening half. It's J.C. Brandt for the Rollers. Calls the number 2 play. They clear it out. He pulls up on the drive to the hoop. Strong off the back iron, no good. Had a shot at the rebound, but kicked it over the end line. So back comes Harrisburg. 21-18, 1:44 to go. It's Jaquil Wright, long 3, no good. Loose ball, Stoney, rebound, little jump hook underneath, no good. They play loose ball, and it goes over the sideline.
You know, Hashim McIntyre had a wide open shot there, John, and I think I think he's befuddled that he's getting that open shot. Usually the competitive players, they want a guy with their hand in their face. Sometimes it's hard making shots when you don't have somebody coming at you, and Steel High's taking an approach that we're going to pack it in, and you got to make it from outside. And right now that pressure's on Harrisburg to make those shots, because this is a game that a lot of people felt like would have got out of hand early, and it's not.
And the Cougars turn it over again. They stepped on the end line. So here comes the Steel High Rollers, down 3. There's another foul in the backcourt. Coming up, as we mentioned earlier, our halftime shootout, sponsored by Arlington Orthopedic. And Charlie Fortney will not be shooting from three-point range.
Well, I'll tell you what, last year, John, the greatest shot was here at Harrisburg when that lady made that shot from 40 feet out.
And then after the shootout, we have the United Concordia halftime report.
Yeah, United Concordia Dental will be Todd and John, myself, and talk about what the Cougars and what Steel High needs to do going into the second half.
Approach the 1-minute mark. Opening half. Steel High down 3. That's Roy Pilsitz to J.C. Brandt.
I think the longer Steel High stays in this game, the more this crowd's going to come alive in the second half. And the Roller faithful are going to realize they have a shot. And you're going to see some energy coming out of the woodwork here.
Can the Rollers play for the last shot here? Pilsitz drives, no good.
Steel High's had a lot not go in that are close around the basket.
That's Stoney for the Harrisburg Cougars. Out front. Far side, Easel. That's McIntyre. Easel, 3-point shot. No good off the rim. Here comes Milbury. He's going to force the issue. Takes it down. Dishes. Blocked by Easel. Back the other way. McIntyre jumper. No good. 5 seconds left. They're going to get one shot. Again, McIntyre. No good. Off the iron. No good. A follow at the buzzer. No good. Harrisburg with 3 or 4 chances to extend the lead, but they can't get it done. So we've reached halftime. As Harrisburg leads Steel High by a score of 21-18. Totally unexpected that the game would be this close, I think.
Well, and I'm curious what Coach Smallwood has to say as Todd McCall is getting ready to set up an interview with him. But I know Coach Smallwood, he's not happy right now.
Okay, let's go to Todd for his conversation with the coach.
Your team is not stranger to being in some close games. What are you going to talk about here at halftime?
Well, this is a Harrisburg-Stilton game. You know, there's a lot of emotion. We just have to execute and, maximize the things we've been practicing and working on, and hopefully take a couple steps to become a better team.
Coach, they gave you a couple different looks in the zone and the 3-2 to guard the perimeter. Where do you think you're going to attack in the second half?
Well, we're trying to get the ball down on the baseline and let our bigs kind of attack the bucket, but Still High is doing a real good job right now keeping us out of the paint.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get back in that locker room. Coach Smallwood saying it very well. Always calm demeanor, staying very calm in all situations. But when he goes in that locker room, and the one thing he's probably going to talk to those Cougars about is getting them very fired up in the second half to come out and maybe get in some people's shirts. Back to you, John and Charlie.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Again, Harrisburg leads Steel High 21-18 at halftime. We'll be back with our Arlington Orthopedic Shootout coming up from Harrisburg. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27.
Groff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer, representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Groff Tractor has built a 53-year reputation in serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, offering the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Groff also offers 24/7 job site support. Groff Tractor and Equipment is your #1 source for everything under construction.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just a beautiful thing.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Oh, good. Welcome back to Kimber Gymnasium here at Harrisburg High as the Harrisburg Cougars lead Steel High 21-18. Coming up, we have the Arlington Orthopedic Shootout. Not a great first half shooting the ball. Charlie, maybe some of these contestants here will have a better result shooting the long three-pointers tonight.
Yep. Okay, what we're going to have right here is the Arlington Orthopedics halftime shootout. We have 9 contestants that are going to try their hand at actually a three-point shot. And our first representative that's going to shoot on behalf of Arlington Orthopedics is Shatera. Shatera, let's give it a shot from three-point range. Okay, Shatera, that's not too bad considering what we saw in first half here. And now we have shooting representing Select Physical Therapy is Taylor. Let's give it up for Taylor. Okay, all right, now representing Cleveland Brothers. I have a good feeling about this one. This is Isaiah Montgomery. Oh, okay, Isaiah, you let me down. Okay. All right, now, representing Penn National is Jayon. Go ahead, Jayon, knock it down. Oh, okay, give the little guy a hand. All right, now shooting on behalf of Huffman Ford is Tehran. Go ahead, Tehran. Oh, Tehran was the closest. All right, representing the Dauphin County Commissioners is Randy Dawson. Give it a shot, Randy. Okay, Randy is a crowd favorite here. Okay, shooting on behalf of United Concordia Dental is Keena Tate. Come on, Keena, we need one to go down. Oh, she shot that like she meant it. All right, representing KR McDonald Insurance is Ayana Horst. Come on, Ayana, knock it down. Okay, our last shot shooting on behalf of Pizza Hut is Pam Outer. Go ahead, Pam. Oh, that was the closest. All right, let's give all of our contestants a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause. All of our contestants get a chance. They will share a Pizza Hut pizza in the lobby. Good job, guys.
Once again, Harrisburg leads Steel High 21-18. We're coming back to Kimber Gymnasium for the United Concordia halftime report. So stay with us. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
The neurologist said you will lose the ability to swallow, to breathe. You will die. I asked the neurologist, why? If we could transplant hearts, couldn't we also replace damaged motor neurons?
Jennifer devoted the last 6 years of her life to wiping out ALS. Project ALS has created a new paradigm for disease research.
We know the goal. We want to get a cure for ALS.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
United Concordia Dental has been insuring Central Pennsylvania for over 40 years. Whether you're looking for group, family, or individual coverage, United Concordia has the right plan to fit your specific needs. United Concordia also prides itself on its commitment to the community through its efforts to arrange free dental services for the underserved and its charitable contributions throughout the area. United Concordia not only takes care of your smile, we give you something to smile about.
Welcome back to Harrisburg High's Kimber Gymnasium. This is the United Concordia Dental halftime report. Bit of a surprise, gentlemen. Only a 3-point ball game. We were kind of hoping it would be a close competitive game. We thought it was going to be very fast-paced, very intense. All that hasn't materialized. We got a kind of snail-like pace going back and forth here, and it's a close game. 3 points, Cougars up.
Well, let's preface why we didn't think it was going to be that close of a game, or publicly. Steel High's young. Steel High's young, and Harrisburg has experience, led by Hashim McIntyre's 29 points. But credit Steel High for being in this game, being feisty. Coach Smallwood said it before the half. They've done a good job of keeping them out of the paint. But Todd, I don't know what you think, but I think Coach Smallwood might have had a good talk with his players at halftime.
Well, I know Coach Smallwood, having faced him a lot in summer leagues and different things. He went in there and got him a little stirred up and said, hey, you're going to have to pick up the pace. The gym is flat tonight. We're playing flat. But I want to take something back that I said earlier. I said that I was a little concerned watching the game from Steel High pushing the ball. I thought they were young. I thought that was leading to some early turnovers. When they settled down, they've got a great, and you said it, they got a great push in J.C. Brandt. They've got a great push in Millbury. Yep. And then they've got a couple kids that are finishing. One of the differences on the other end is, let's talk a little bit about Thompson. I thought at one point Steel High would get a couple easy buckets from 5 feet away. Thompson comes out of nowhere and swats it. That's the difference in having a big kid, and that's what's kind of lacking a little bit with the Steel High Rollers. But I guess I'm I'm at a different belief. They can still play the old roller kind of basketball, Charlie, that you know, and they can get up on the floor. Look for some press here in the second half out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, I think maybe even some traps, too.
I think this is where you talk about experience. You talk about they have a good press or a good push. The thing is knowing when to push and when not to push.
Yeah.
And so far, they've been doing it at the right time.
Yeah, and it's like Tremaine as a point guard had to learn that as a college player. He's done a good job communicating to Jordan Milbury and J.C. Brantley's guards when to do that, and that's probably been the reason why they've had they're in this game, and still has been in a lot of good games this year. This second half's going to be interesting.
Well, when you have youth, one of the things is you've got to play 4 quarters in mid-pen basketball. That is going to be the difference. Are you closers or are you just starters? And that's a big thing when you have youth. We'll see how Steel High comes out.
Okay, that's United Concordia Dental halftime report. Stay tuned. Second half action. Harrisburg leading Steel High by 3. We'll be back with third quarter action right after this. You're watching high school basketball on ABC 27.
Look into the sun for coverage of student athletes from Palmyra, Hershey, and Lower Dauphin. Drew Weedman and the Sun staff are dedicated to weekly coverage.
Extra, extra! Read all about West Shore student and team success with the growing popularity of the Carlisle Sentinel, the pace setter in Carlisle and West Shore Sports Review.
Patriot News has covered the region of Harrisburg since 1854, from all-star selections to championship reporting, the leader in central Pennsylvania sports news.
Okay. Harrisburg High's Kimber Gymnasium, the scene. John Repitz along with Charlie Fortney and Todd McCall. Harrisburg starts the third quarter with a 3-point lead and the ball. Cougars in the home white, moving left to right. Pass inside, knocked away. Once again, the good Steel High defense comes up with another turnover. That's J.C. Brandt for the Rollers.
Look for Harrisburg to more intense on defense. Look for them to maybe even run some traps here in the second half to try to shake some things up and make these guards throw over top.
That's Jordan Milbury, and they're going to call a 5-second. Good defense that time by Jarrell Patterson.
I know we don't have a shot at Tremaine right now, but he's fighting for his team right now. He knows they're playing hard. He's over there trying to get the calls, and he's learning as a young coach that you got to get behind your players if they're playing hard.
Loose ball off the miss. Stolen by the Rollers. Trent Chisholm with the quick hands picks up the loose ball.
John, how many Chisholms have come through Steel High? Holy.
I've lost count. Are there any more in the pipeline, I guess?
It's one of those household names, you know?
Long three, no good, off the iron. Harrisburg looking to run. McIntyre to the hoop, and they're going to call the offensive foul. Good defensive positioning that time by the little guy, Jordan Milbury.
Like to see a replay on this because this was a textbook charge by Jordan Milbury. Watch this, kids at home. Watch this. He got his feet set. Boy, now I know what Eddie Albert meant by pound for pound. The toughest kid Steel High's had.
And that's Milbury with the ball. Dumps it to Chisholm. Chisholm drives the lane. One-hander, no good. And McIntyre back the other way for the Cougars. Lays it up and in. McIntyre gives the Cougars a 5-point lead, 23-18. Minute and a half into tonight's third quarter. And they're going to call a foul out front. Milbury started the drive. Fouled by Patterson. Second team foul already on the Cougars here in the third.
Tell you what, this point guard play by Steel High is, you know, it's not often that Harrisburg's Jarrell Patterson goes up against somebody smaller and possibly a little lower to the ground, maybe a little quicker, but it's harder when you're low to the ground like that. There's another foul on Patterson. That's
his second, team's third already, and we're not even 2 minutes in.
You know, Coach Wes Baer teaches defense for Harrisburg. He's over there, you know, giving Jarrell some thoughts on keeping that guy in front of him. But I don't know how many times do you go up against a Jordan Milbury. You really can't duplicate that in practice.
It's J.C. Brandt for the Cougar Rollers. Milbury drives, pulls up, jumper, no good. Loose ball to the Cougars. Patterson, lead pass ahead. Taking it to the hoop. No good. James Easel is fouled. So he's going to go to the line. And check us out, folks, on the internet, PASportsLiveTV.com. Check on that. You get photos, video clips, game matchups, schedules.
Yeah, you can watch any of the previous games from this year. You can also watch games from last year. You know, it's about time we start talking about the Huffman Ford player of the game, because I know Ashim McIntyre is leading the building in scoring tonight, but this is a decision that we ask our fans to help us with, and they can vote right at home by going to the website.
2 missed that end from the foul line. Steel High attacking underneath, and there's another foul. 4 team fouls already in the third quarter against the home Cougars. And that's 3 straight on Patterson. So going to the line for Steel High is Anthony Ferguson, 6'1" sophomore. First shot is good.
Actually, we got Mark Perry on the line there, number 13. Very similar build.
Some discussion going on over at the scores table, perhaps on who that foul was on.
At the line is number 13, Anthony Ferguson.
Correct that, John. You're right. That is Anthony Ferguson on the line.
His second shot is also good.
Tell you what, they both have the same strong arms. Look at those guys. They're put together pretty well. Perry and Ferguson. You got McNeil. I mean, it's still how you get the all sports athletes. You get these guys that play football, basketball, baseball. They play it all in Steelton.
Yeah, probably run a little track, do a little bit of everything. Harrisburg up 3 in possession of the ball. Nearly 3 minutes into the third quarter. Open jumper for 3 is short by McIntyre. Rollers had a chance to run. They pull it out. Milbury attacks the hoop, loses it, driving down the lane. Perry up off the glass, no good. Offensive foul on Mark Perry.
Well, we're privileged, John, in between the third and fourth quarter. We're going to have a chance to hear from Mike Bullock from the Patriot News. I'm real curious to hear Mike Bullock's take on Ashim McIntyre. We're going to be hearing him talk about his 29 points a game average and kind of when the last time that's happened, and even get Mike's take on what his thoughts on the Huffman Ford player of the game are, because this is going to be a hard game to call player of the game. It's one of those chess matches, which isn't usually typical of a Steel High Harrisburg game.
Cougars nearly throw it away. Loose underneath. McIntyre takes it up strong, and there's going to be a foul. So Ashim McIntyre is going to go to the line.
Fouls on Anthony Ferguson, his second.
Team fouls start to even out a bit. Foul is on Ferguson, his second, team's third. Gets the rattle and gets the roll. Very slow-paced third quarter so far. McIntyre to shoot his second. No good. Loose ball. It's going to stay at that end. Went off the hands of Ferguson.
Looks like McIntyre's lunging on his shot tonight, lunging forward. It's not a straight up, straight down trajectory. It's a little bit, and he's seeing some of those foul shots come in and out. Not sure that that's what he's normally doing when he's making those shots.
Cougars attacking the baseline, still can't get it. Finally, Steven Stoney gets the follow. So the Cougars up by 6 now, 26-20. So we approach the halfway point of tonight's third quarter. Milbury, no good off the glass. Stoney with a rebound. Stoney starts to run, dishes. Stolen by Brandt for the Rollers. Pressure in the backcourt. Brandt breaks it. Dishes to Milbury. Pulls up, jumper, no good. Loose ball, pulled down by Brandt. Up underneath, no. Gets it again. Again he puts it up, and this time gets the foul. A lot of standing around, and J.C. Brandt inside saying, well, I'll just keep going up and I'll keep getting it. There it is again.
That's his second rebound. Yep.
There it is. There's the foul. So J.C. Brandt goes to the line. He makes the first. With a play like that, you could be a Hoffman player of the game. So you folks sitting at home watching, go to PASportsLiveTV.com, register your choice for who you think our player of the game tonight is.
Well, we're going to need the fans to help us out on this one, John. Because I tell you what, there's been a lot of individual performances here tonight, but it's hard to pick, other than Hasheem McIntyre's leading scorer, it's hard to pick one performance that really stands out. I know J.C. Brandt's done a lot of penetrating, and Jordan Milbury. McNeil, a couple spark three-pointer in the first half to kind of get Steel High going.
Rollers come up with another loose ball. That's McNeil. Coming up to the 3-minute mark. J.C. Brandt out front. Pulls up, three, no good. Loose ball, hustled down by Ferguson. And Tremaine Hawthorne, the Rollers, is going to call a timeout. So we have just under 3 minutes to go. Harrisburg leads by 5. And let's go to Todd for a special interview. Todd?
Hi guys, I'm here with Maggie Wagner from Select Physical Therapy. Maggie, Select Physical Therapy has been a great sponsor here for high school sports, but one of the things when you guys are watching high school sports, do you ever have a tendency to want to run out and help someone that's maybe dropped in an injury?
Absolutely. I always look for certain injuries. I try to figure it out while I'm looking in the stands, and it's hard to almost sit in your seat the whole time. You always want to help as a therapist.
Talk a little bit about treating athletes and some of the injuries. You know, these kids are getting a lot bigger, they're a lot more physical. What is it a different type of way to treat, a sprained ankle, for instance, with an athlete?
Absolutely. There's always a little bit different from someone older to someone a little bit younger. So you kind of have to get a little bit more creative with the athletes because they always want to try and do more things and push themselves. So we have to always learn new ways to push them.
Well, you heard it directly from Maggie Wagner of Select Physical Therapy. Back to you guys and more high school basketball.
Well, it takes sponsor support. It takes referees, coaches, fans. It takes a lot of support to pull these off, John. It takes a lot of coordinated effort, and we definitely appreciate all of our sponsors for participating in High School Sports Live.
Rollers empty from the field so far in the third quarter. They do not have a field goal. Their only 3 points have come from the foul line. And as soon as I say that, there it goes. First hoop of the quarter for Steel High. That's Anthony Ferguson with the jumper. So it's a 3-point game. 26-23 Cougars. Another quick defensive move by Brandt. Nearly gets the steal, but the Cougars save it. Inside, nice move, spinning move by Andrew Thompson off the glass and in. Cougars by 5. Harrisburg's Daquan Ware gets the foul there.
Tell you
Rollers
what,
inbound.
The longer Steel High hangs around here, the more this is looking like a real possibility here that they could pull an upset here tonight.
You can sense some tension from the Cougar players thinking, it shouldn't be this close, but it is. Outside shot, no good. Rebound.
I think the thing that's saving Harrisburg right now is Steel High is not able to manufacture any points right now. They're just not able to hit down those open jumpers. It's almost like Harrisburg's best friend tonight is Steel High, just not making shots.
And Kirk Smallwood going to his bench, trying to find a combination that's going to work, is Daquan Ware and Kyle Cook are both in the game. Pass inside was intended for Dominique Lewis, but it was tipped away. And Donald Rawls for the Cougars also checks in. The little guy, Jordan Milbury, checks back in for Steel High. 1:26 to go. Cougars up by 5 and the ball. Pass inside is up and in by McIntyre. Lead pass the other way, a little too strong, off the hands of Simmons Settles. Turns it right back over to the Cougars.
This is where Steel High's got to be careful. It's 7-point game. This is where they haven't been down double digits all game. Going into the fourth quarter, Harrisburg.
Kyle Cook follows his own miss, gets the rebound, but turns it right back over. So here comes Steel High. Milbury out front being guarded by McIntyre. That's McNeil. Ferguson, the ball may have been tipped. Here comes Harrisburg. To the hoop, strong, score it for McIntyre. So the lead just like that is up to 9. Milbury to the hoop, rejected. Dominique Lewis swats it into the first row. 24 seconds left. Harrisburg up by 9. Todd, you have something for us?
John, Charlie, one of the things I noticed down on the floor is the lull in the pace of the game. If you're a Harrisburg Cougar fan, was not benefiting Harrisburg. However, here lately, just the last 20 seconds, they picked up the pace. One of the things Steel High is doing very well is they're getting back and limiting easy transition buckets, and they're assuming the middle of the paint, which is the hole, and that, I think, has been the difference in the game, and that's a plus up on Steel High side. But as Harrisburg rolls in and starts doing the things they do, they're actually starting to pick up and widen that gap now. Back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Final seconds of the third quarter ticking down.
It's a good point, Todd.
Harrisburg with one last shot. Long three-pointer. Rims around, no good. So we've played 3. Harrisburg takes control with another late surge here in the third quarter. They are now on top by 9, 32-23 after 3 quarters.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Get ready to start popping with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It's your favorite Pizza Hut pizza surrounded by 28 tasty cheese-filled bites. You won't be able to stop pulling them, dipping them, and popping them. And right now, a Cheesy Bites pizza with your favorite topping is just $11.99. Plus, add a 2-liter Pepsi and an order of breadsticks for just $5 more. The Cheesy Bites pizza deal won't last long, only $11.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
Harrisburg leads Steel High 32-23 after 3 quarters. John Reppes along with Charlie Fortney and Todd McCall, joined by the 4th member of our broadcast crew tonight from the Harrisburg Patriot News. We welcome Michael Bullock. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think so far?
Well, I'm impressed that Steel High's been able to use this zone in order to control the tempo and kind of take away the penetration ability of Harrisburg. And as a result, here we sit, 9 points.
Yeah, and Steel High, I mean, Mike has not been able to make shots. I mean, imagine if if they would be able to make a few shots, this could be a favorable outcome for them right now.
Absolutely.
Taking it to the hoop is Donald Rawls for Harrisburg. So now we have a double-digit lead for the first time tonight.
You know, look for J.C. Brandt to get back in the game. J.C. is not in the game right now. And
here's the Cougars on the break. Nice feed, open layup. Just like that. 11-point lead, Steel High with the ball.
Mike, your take on Hashim McIntyre. Talk about this point per game average. It's not characteristic of Harrisburg High School to have a guy putting that many points on the board. You said you even talked to Smallwood about that.
No, I actually talked to Don Ross beforehand, and we were trying to reminisce about that. But, yeah, it's unusual for somebody to average 20 points a game up here, let alone somebody to be just shy of 30 points a game. But Sheen has just been ridiculous so far. And again, I think tonight the zone has been a factor that's prohibited him from really going off tonight against the Rollers. So.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not. Naturally, he's leading in scoring right now, but he's not having his normal game because of the flow. But you can just see in him a confidence this year that, you know, from scoring the basketball that we haven't seen.
Well, I think it's part the fact that he's a senior now. He's playing for something, not only here, but also for his future.
Yep.
And so I think he's motivated to play extraordinarily well.
Playing for bread and butter scholarship money.
Absolutely, and you know, from what I understand, terrific student as well, and he you know, in my dealings with him, he's a terrific kid. So
yeah, and Smallwood does a good job with guards. You know, they get a lot of credit for Don Ross working with posts and Wes Bear training the defense, but Smallwood does a good job with your like your Fonzo Burnett's who won the state championship, and your McIntyres, and those Harrisburg's always been signified by a really good point guard when they've had good teams, and this is one of those guys.
Andrew Thompson with a hoop inside for Harrisburg. Lead is still 11. It's 38-27. Here's calling traveling into backcourt on Mr. Milbury.
Here's those traps I was thinking that Smallwood was going to go to earlier, but he's pulling them out just at the right time, that's for sure.
Well, I think they tried, Charlie, earlier, and Steel High was able to solve it, you know, using Milbury 1-versus-1. And again, I overheard you saying earlier about his low center of gravity really prohibiting anybody from getting underneath him defensively.
Brandt near Steele. Inside,
you know,
off glass, no good, the foul.
Put it in perspective, Mike. You know, have you had the conversation either with what does 29 points a game? When's the last time a player in this area has averaged more than 25, let alone close to 30 a game?
I can't remember anyone, even growing up, going back to. The 70s or whatever, seeing guys averaging 27 or 28, but 30, I mean, it's just.
I mean, I played with Rod Brooken. He averaged 32 a game his senior year. Billy Owens averaged 34 a game his senior year. But these are guys 6'6", 6'9", that, they have a reason to not be uncontested on half of their shots.
Well, and they're also extraordinary talents, too. I mean, both of them played in the Big East Conference, and played professionally. So, I mean, there's a reason why those gentlemen were as productive as they were, too. So,
Mike, before we go off, who's your Huffman Ford player of the game at this point?
Wow, I'll tell you what, that's a really tough call at this point. But, I'm still inclined, look at McIntyre just from the spurtability aspect.
Yeah.
Milbury strong to the hoop and is fouled.
And if Harrisburg goes on to win this, he certainly is leading them today in scoring. And there's just a sense that even though this is only a 12-point game, there's just a sense that still a sense that he's in control of the game.
Well, he's got 16 right now, so I mean he's in range of keeping that streak alive of 20 or more in every game so far. So.
Well, and Still High here makes these foul shots. This could get a little more competitive. We may see McIntyre get his average here if he has to turn it up a notch.
Well, you know he's going to have the ball in his hands at some point, so he's going to have opportunities.
10-point game. Cougars turn it over.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you joining us in the Patriot News.
All right, thank you.
5.5 to go. Long three-pointer, J.C. Brandt, no good. Milbury, the littlest guy on the floor, gets it up and underneath. Nice feed inside to Mark Perry for the hoop. So now it's down to 8. Brandt with the steal. Rollers with a chance to get even closer. Milbury out front. McNeil, three-pointer, no good. Rebound pulled down by Jaquil Wright. That's Hasheen McIntyre.
Well, it's an 8-point game right now. It's like you keep thinking Harrisburg's going to pull away from this, and Still High answers.
Cougars pounded inside, no good. Loose ball. Stephen Stoney with a follow. So leads back up to 10. J.C. Brandt attacks the hoop, dishes, nice feed inside to Mark Perry, gets his second easy basket. 41-33. Stoney puts it on the floor. They pound it inside again. This time McIntyre on the spin move, gets fouled, so he's going to go to the line.
Got McIntyre posting up now. It's like I've seen him do everything tonight. He's brought the ball down, hit the three. Now he's posting up inside.
Well, at halftime, Coach Smallwood told Todd McCall that they've been trying to bang it down on the baseline, and that they're continuing to do it.
Well, you know, it's like when you're a guard, you always dream. You always practice in the backyard. Your post moves, act like you're Shaq, and around. So this is Hashim's.
Take that drop step, a little Abdul-Jabbar hook shot, all those things, right?
Yeah, the problem is in the backyard, the hoop's only 8 foot, so you can go up there and dunk it and act like you can lower the rims and stuff.
In the backyard, you shoot a brick, nobody sees it. Here, you got a couple hundred people sitting here watching you. McIntyre goes to the line. Makes one. So it's a 9-point game as we hit the 4-minute mark. Tough shot on the baseline, no good. Here come the Cougars. That's Stoney.
Tell you what, Still High has not.
Dishes, the offensive foul on Chris Britton.
John, Still High has not lacked good shooting opportunities tonight. They've just lacked executing these shot opportunities.
Here's the replay again. Stoney dishes and just a little too over-aggressive on the drive was Britton. Back to live action to the hoop. They're going to call traveling to take the bucket away from the Rollers. Ferguson called for steps underneath. 3:45 to go. McIntyre pushing for the Cougars. Feed inside. Nice move with the left hand by Chris Britton. So the lead's back up to a dozen. J.C. Brandt attacks the hoop. Too strong off the glass, no good. Here come the Cougars. Stolen back by McNeil, puts it up and in. Play getting a little sloppy at both ends of the floor. We're going to have a timeout. 3:22 to go. Harrisburg on top, 45-35. Watching high school basketball live on ABC 27.
United Concordia Dental has been insuring Central Pennsylvania for over 40 years. Whether you're looking for group, family, or individual coverage, United Concordia has the right plan to fit your specific needs. United Concordia also prides itself on its commitment to the community through its efforts to arrange free dental services for the underserved and its charitable contributions throughout the area. United Concordia not only takes care of your smile, we give you something to smile about.
Be sure to join Charlie Fortney as he talks with senior Arlington Orthopedics MD Dr. Michael Cordes on the dramatic consequences concussions can have on younger athletes. Dr. Cordes discusses the critical issues concerning concussions such as immediate symptoms, the more lasting post-concussive syndrome, and more. He goes on to cover a recent example of a young high school football player who suffered a very significant concussion and how he was effectively treated by the staff at Arlington Orthopedics. For the full interview, PASportsLiveTV.com.
United Concordia Dental has been insuring Central Pennsylvania for over 40 years. Whether you're looking for group, family, or individual coverage, United Concordia has the right plan to fit your specific needs. United Concordia also prides itself on its commitment to the community through its efforts to arrange free dental services for the underserved and its charitable contributions throughout the area. United Concordia not only takes care of your smile, we give you something to smile about.
Harrisburg up by 10. Easy basket inside. The lead is now back up to 12. 3 minutes left, fourth quarter. Dish inside. Hoop basket by Mark Perry as he gets up a little gimpy running back down the floor. So it's back to a 10-point game. There's a little travel violation. So Harrisburg's going to, or Steel High is going to get the ball back.
11,
you know, you rattle off a couple threes in a row, and all of a sudden, you know, this is a four-basket game, basically.
The way this game's been going, I wouldn't put anything past either team.
The thing is, Harrisburg will get up by 10 to 12, but then not stop Steel High on defense to build the lead, and that's the thing that I think is frustrating Coach Smallwood tonight, is that they're not defending like a typical Harrisburg team does.
On the inbound, Jordan Milbury, and he's going to be fouled just as he pulls that one down.
That's actually a good, well, are they going to they're going to give him 2 shots on this
double bonus.
Double bonus.
10th team foul against the Cougars.
Milbury's a pretty good foul shooter here.
For a little guy, he gets to the line a lot. I think he had 26 foul shots, most on the team going into tonight's action.
That's Allen Iverson-like.
He makes one.
He's 3 for 3 tonight. He's going to make it. Oh, I jinxed him. I jinxed him.
Take that one back. Do-over. 47-38, 2.5 to go. Steal by McNeil to Milbury. To Perry, lays it in. It's 47-40, down to a 7-point lead. Not over yet. Play really starting to loosen up. Spin move. McIntyre says, I'll take that one, thank you.
Well, as we talk about player of the game, that's a play of the game right there, I'll tell you that. But there's no defense on the other end here. That's the problem. That was an important basket for him to answer right there. 7-point game.
7-point game. Teams just exchanging hoops, and the Cougars throw it away. So 1:54 to go, 7-point lead. Steel High's going to get the ball back.
I'll tell you what,
a chance to get a little closer.
If looks could kill, Coach Smallwood over there is not happy with the turnovers and the careless play of the out top there, especially when you're up 7. It's a 3-basket game. Jordan Milbury with the ball.
Attacks the hoop, dishes inside. Swatted away. Brandt, 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Stoney. And Charlie had a statistic on Stoney with his rebounds here tonight.
Yeah, as we're talking about player of the game, Stoney has 16 rebounds.
17 now.
17 rebounds on that one. But in a low-scoring game, 49-42, you know, I'm going to lead it off here. Points mean a lot tonight, and Hashim McIntyre leading the way with 18 points.
Hasn't been under 20 this season in the first 7 games.
I'm sorry, 24 points.
It's
correct
24,
that.
okay.
Yeah, he's 24 points. So
closing in on his average rather quickly.
Well, he's got half the points tonight, basically, 24 out of the 50 points.
And he scores basically 40% of his team's points, so he's a little bit above that tonight. But as you said, points have been at a premium, so when the Cougars have needed the baskets, he's been the man to go to. Shot no good. Here he comes. There's McIntyre. Taking it to the hoop. Hard off the glass, no good. Loose ball. Underneath, no good. Rollers rebound. Bill Berry. So we approach the 1 minute mark. McNeil, J.C. Brandt dishes inside. Mark Perry, layup good. And a quick timeout. 1 minute exactly left. Harrisburg leads by 7. We'll be back with the conclusion of this right after this.
High School Sports Live is brought to you by
Hemp Brothers, paving the way in concrete, asphalt, crushed stone construction services. Keystone State Games, Pennsylvania's largest amateur athletic festival. NK Sporting Goods, partnered with NK Graphics, has been outfitting the teams of Central PA for over 25 years. United Concordia, ensuring America's dental health for over 40 years. Regen, muscle recovery beverage. Experience the raw power of natural cocoa. Groff, tractor and equipment, we're your #1 source for everything under construction. Sun Motor Cars, experience Central PA's ultimate driving headquarters. Central Pennsylvania Basketball Officials Association, become an expert at knowing one rule, one interpretation. Advanced Hoops, contact us at 657-2620 or visit us online at advancedhoops.com.
Back to live action, a foul on the floor as we are under a minute to go. Stephen Stoney for Harrisburg is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Foul on Steel High's Trent Chisholm. 51-44. Stoney makes the first. So it leads up to 8.
Well, that's rebound number 19, 18. Rebound number 18 there.
Stoney makes a pair.
I'll tell you what,
44.
There's some Stoney fans sitting at home on the couch. Go to PA Sports Live TV and you can vote for Stoney or McIntyre or J.C. Brand, any of your. But at this point, I'm going for Hashim McIntyre as the player of the game. There's a little uproar in the crowd now that the clock was left running there. It's 53-46. This is still a 3-basket game, John. J.C. Brandt, it just has been everywhere tonight on defense, penetrating, along with Jordan Milbury. Those two guys team up to single-handedly just break the press and bring the ball down, put pressure on the other team.
They put a couple of ticks back on the clock. We're back to 39 seconds.
Yeah, 4.5 went off, actually.
Yeah, but McIntyre's going to go to the line to shoot. The crowd obviously thinks this one is under control as some of the fans are starting to head toward the exits. McIntyre makes one. He'll shoot a second. Second is also good. 55-46, 39 seconds left. Long 3 by Brandt, no good. Loose ball. He gets it on the baseline. Feeds it underneath to Perry. Another nice move by Mark Perry. Coming up, you can still voice your opinion for our Hoffman Ford Player of the Game. Log on to PASportsLiveTV.com. Register your choice. A couple of leading candidates. Hashim McIntyre of the Harrisburg Cougars, along with Stephen Stoney for his Rodman-like work on the boards tonight.
I'll tell you what, we got a nice program lined up in the spring through AdvancedHoops.com. You call 657-2620. AAU tryouts, shooting, dribbling. But right now, we got a celebrity in the house here, John. His name's Alfonso Dawson. Todd's got an interview with Alfonso right now. 1,000-point scorer from Harrisburg
Here with
High.
state champion 2007, Alfonso Dawson. Alfonso, talk about just, the Harrisburg Cougar team that you saw here tonight.
They look good tonight. They ran the floor good. Good leadership I saw from Shane tonight. It looked real good. Everybody competed. They played hard. It was good seeing them tonight.
Let's just say this. Let you play coach for a second, okay? At halftime, the game was a bit flat. It was a little closer, too close for comfort here. You're playing coach. You go and be Coach Smallwood because you've heard it before. You go in that locker room, what do you say?
I go in the locker room. I tell them, man, we got to put the intensity there. It was kind of slow early. It's kind of like guys just kind of jogging around everything. So I would just let them know, man, we got to pick the pace up. Once that happens, we get a score like this, 55-48.
Can they repeat? Can they see more banners being hung here like the 07 team?
I think so, man. We got a lot of young talent here. We got a lot of guys just want to win or determined. So I think we can.
Well, gentlemen, you heard it from Mr. Dawson. I mean, this guy was a sensational player. Done great things here at Harrisburg supporting his team tonight on High School Sports Live.
Hey, Todd,
gentlemen.
Todd, thanks for that. I mean, Alfonso Dawson's a class act. 1,400 points, all-time leading scorer at Harrisburg High School. Scored 1,000 points. Got a college education down at the University of Delaware, actually. Great kid. I have a personal experience with him, John. I was helping him with the shooting when he was in high school, and I asked him to make a pass to me. I said, Fonzo, you got to give me a hard pass, okay? Give me a hard, crisp pass so I can make a couple shots here in front of the campers. Boy, he whammed that ball. It went right through my hands and broke a nice pair of glasses. So every time I see Fonzo, I tell him he's got to replace my glasses because but I have fond memories of this young man, and so does Coach Smallwood. He's put some wins in the column for Harrisburg over the years.
What do they always say? Be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. You ask for what you got it.
Well, you know how shooters want a good pass. He was just lobbing me the ball. I said, come on, Fonz, give me a good pass. And he throws it extra hard, and it went right through. My wife was disappointed because those are a brand new pair of glasses she had just bought for me, and they cracked right in half.
7 seconds left. Going to the line is Stephen Stoney of Harrisburg. A couple of foul shots. These are the ones that just kind of pad the statistics for the rest of the night. 9-point lead. Looks to make it 10 and does.
I'll tell you what.
So the Rollers gave it a valiant effort, but they're going to come up about 10 points short tonight.
Well, and there's a big one tomorrow night. CD East, girls, boys, doubleheader.
We'll touch upon that a little bit later in our post-game comments. But the final score, let's put this one in the books. Steel High keeps it close for a while, but Harrisburg pulls away in the third quarter, and they win it by 10 by a final of 59-49. Again, couple of candidates for player of the game, and we will tell you who that Hoffman Ford player of the game is when we come back to Kimber Gymnasium here in Harrisburg. Again, Steel High loses to Harrisburg. Cougars on top by 10. Final 59-49. You're watching high school basketball on High School Sports Live on ABC 27.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Each spring and fall, Advanced Hoops invites college coaches from all over the East Coast to showcase Central Pennsylvania's standout high school ballers, like Lower Dolphins' Cody Deal, Matt Banis of Hershey, David Craig from Cumberland Valley, Skylar Roman from Chambersburg, and many more. Representatives from several highly respected universities, well known as much for their academics as they are for their basketball programs, make it a priority to visit the Advanced Hoops gym to catch a glimpse of the best and the brightest players of the upcoming years. High school coaches like Hershey's Paul Blackburn recognize the benefits these programs provide for their players.
Charlie's always had an open door policy for a lot of people. Charlie's promoted Central PA hoops for the boys and the girls for a lot of years now, so he's done a lot of good things.
Advanced Hoops has placed over 50 players in college uniforms. Who will be next?
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us, we believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
I'm here with winning coach Kirk Smallwood and Hoffman Ford player of the game, Hasheen McIntyre. First, coach, let's talk a little bit, very calm demeanor as you always have been. You went in the locker room. Talk about how you thought your team responded in the second half.
Well, we just had to get to the things that we practice, Coach. We got away from it. The emotion of the Harrisburg-Steel High rivalry kind of seeped into our game plan, and we didn't want that to happen. We just wanted to get back to what we do, and I think the kids did a decent job doing that in the second half.
Can you talk about the leadership for the Hoffman Ford player of the game and Hasheen McIntyre and some of the things he does on the floor that's very special for this team right now?
Well, one of the things that happens in our program, kids have to wait their turn. He waited behind his brother and Eric Henry and Quincy Roberts and some of the guys who kind of led the way. So he knows how to lead. He's seen it for the last 3 years, and now it's his turn, and he's doing an excellent job of leading our team.
Thank you, Coach Smallwood. We'll let you get in your locker room. Here with Hasheen McIntyre. Hasheen, the game was a close game, obviously, 59-49, but there was one point where the game was a 6-point game. You make a spin move in the paint and calm everything down. Talk a little bit about what you do for your team and what your team did here in the second half.
Well, in the second half, I think we attacked the zone better than we did in the first. The first half, we was kind of shaky on the zone, had a few turnovers, but we regrouped as a team. See, when we play against Steel High, it's all about pride. So we got our pride back up and started bringing things together, and we got the lead.
You got a big matchup with the CD Rams coming Friday night. Talk a little bit about that matchup.
Well, we know Devin Thomas, my rivalry, he plays good. We just got to, try to shut him down and, stick together as a team.
One last question for you. What is one thing that you think you guys are going to have to do to win this division?
We're just going to have to keep playing hard, do what we practice every day. Let's keep it simple.
Well, gentlemen, as you hear, I'm here with Hasheen McIntyre. Very calm, very reserved player, but did some special things on the field, on the court, Tonight, ABC 27 Live, high school sports, more post-game after these messages.
Got old electronics, TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
For generations, Caterpillar has delivered innovative products that help customers build strong, profitable businesses. And for more than 60 years, Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company has been Pennsylvania's source for first-class Caterpillar equipment, service, parts, and rentals. With 26 locations across Pennsylvania, we've grown right alongside our customers, delivering on our commitment to provide a superior experience and maximum value. Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company, helping Pennsylvania prosper since 1948.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us, we believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
John Reppitz along with Charlie Fortney and Todd McCall back at courtside here at Harrisburg, where the Cougars defeated the Steel High Rollers by 10. Final was 59-49. Gentlemen, looking at some of the statistics here, not a great night shooting. Harrisburg 40% from the floor, only 12% from three-point range. They only made one all night. Steel High, on the other hand, only 33% from the field, just 15%. So obviously points at a premium tonight, and when you have the go-to guy like Harrisburg did, I guess that made all the difference in the world, didn't it?
Yeah, and Tremaine Hawthorne and the Steel High Rollers got something out of this game that they can take into future games, and it just shows you how tough this backcourt is for Steel High to shoot that kind of percentage and have a chance in a game against Harrisburg High as good as they are. And Coach Smallwood, what you could tell, was not happy with his team's performance. Mentioned in the interview with you of getting caught up in this whole, maybe it's TV, maybe it's the rivalry, but they gotta brace themselves for a big game on Friday night against Central Dauphin.
Well, I want to play coach for a moment, and it's easy to do when you're sitting on the sideline, but if I'm Steel High, there was a couple times when the game was a little close. Points of emphasis maybe looking next time. I felt like they needed a set to go to. I thought there was a few times where they settled for one shot, and you're not going to get a lot of extras with Thompson inside. The second thing I think that they can look at, knowing when to push, knowing when to pull out, that's going to help out at that particular time. And then if you're Harrisburg, hey, champions learn to win in flat kind of environments. The kind of game, the air was out of the gym tonight, but they found a way. Champions find a way to win these types of games.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we started tonight with a three-way tie for first place in the Commonwealth Division between Harrisburg and CD and CD East. Steel High already played those two teams and lost really two close games.
Yeah.
Harrisburg comes in here tonight and wins a fairly tight game with Steel High. Can we take anything about this as we look forward to the fact that Harrisburg still has to play Central Dauphin and CD East yet in the first half? Can we say that because Steel High played him close and this was a close game, that those games are going to be close as well?
It's hard to justify it that way because Steel High is going to stay in the game the way they play against anybody, but they really don't necessarily have all the pieces to finish around the basket and they don't have the consistent shooting to win a lot of these kind of games. But it's nice because you got a young coach that's getting 9-10 players playing time, and in this last year we saw some glimpses of hope. This year I'm thinking this Steel High team next year can be a contender, especially with the young players. But again, I think when CD and Harrisburg square off, we're really going to know who's leading this division, because it's really, bottom line, it's going to come down to those two teams, and CD's taking nothing away from them. They're very scrappy, but this league is in the hands of Harrisburg and CD, unless CD East tomorrow night has something to say about it when they play CD on High School Sports Live.
2 points to take away. Steel High responds to Coach Hawthorne. They play just like he and Tristan played. Their guards remind me so much of them when they were younger. Harrisburg, you've got so much athletic ability. One of the things I think they need to get back to what they've always done. Get in your shirts and play defense. Now, that was one thing that I thought lacked. There was that fire lacking tonight, and that's not pointing any fingers, but I know the Harrisburg Cougars can bring their game up to another level. Friday night, they must bring it in order to beat CD.
Yeah, because if Devin Thomas gets the ball around the basket and has a comfort level with catching the ball in that right position, it could be a long night. But tomorrow night, John, you make a good point. We got a scrappy CD's ball club. Marty Hassefus, great coach, does a good job with those guys. They're scrappy. They're hard to guard, unpredictable. You got athletes like Eric Scott, Eddie Cowan, you name it. They're going to come at you with all the pistons pumping. And tomorrow night's going to be a big one as CD and CD East go at it. It's boys-girls doubleheader starting at 6:30.
Just amazing how the schedule works out. We had 3 teams tied for the lead. We had one tonight, and the other 2 play tomorrow. And then, consequently, we will have those teams play out next Friday and then into next week. So, as you said, join us tomorrow night for a doubleheader. Girls get underway at 6:30, CD East and Central Dauphin. That'll be followed by the boys' game at approximately 8 o'clock. And then, again, we have other games for the rest of the season. We also have wrestling coming up Thursday night, too. Let's not forget about that. So, I'd like to wrap things up here from courtside here at Harrisburg High. Congratulations to our Hoffman Ford Player of the Game, Hasheen McIntyre, 26 points for Harrisburg. Thanks to our crew from the Invicta Sports. Done a great job bringing you the sights and sounds of this backyard rivalry. One of the top rivalries not only in the area but the entire state. Again, Harrisburg taking care of Steel High tonight by a final of 59-49. So that's it from Harrisburg. For Todd McCall, Charlie Fortney, and the rest of our Invicta Sports crew, along with Harrisburg Patriot News reporter Michael Bullock. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from Central Dauphin.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show. Our topic today is concussions in sports. First off, help us understand what defines a true concussion.
Well, you know, they've been trying to figure that question out for the past 30 to 40 years. I kind of use a definition when I teach my residents. I tell them that a concussion basically is a disruption of the electrical impulse of the brain. That's all it is. It's a shutdown of the brain. It's temporary. It can be rather significant, or it can be a little bit more decreased in nature and cause.
How do the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic handle concussions? Is there a general philosophy that all of the doctors share?
I'm primary care sports medicine. Dr. Ackerman is an associate of mine, and he is sports medicine orthopedics. We have a discussion with all of the residents at the hospital. There's over 20 of them that we just sit down and discuss what a concussion is, how it needs to be dealt with. The thing you have to remember about concussion, the younger the individual, the more significant the concussion, the longer it can last.
We're talking about sports, but are most of your patients non-athletes who come in for concussions?
Well, you know, you have another situation entirely, and that situation is called the industrial athlete. That's the individual that's out there doing a job for a purposeful end and getting paid to do that job, who bumps his head, who falls down, breaks a leg, who twists an ankle, et cetera, et cetera. These are the type of people that we see at Arlington. We look at not only the athlete, and we see a lot of athletes, but we also look at the individual that has a work-related injury. Right. We look at an individual that was shoveling the snow down the other day and ends up with significant back pain. We look at an individual that is in an automobile wreck who becomes injured, who also needs orthopedic consultation. So we see a tremendous number of people from very different sources of life.
Speaking of the idea of concussions in the high schools, there was a recent example with Clayton McNair at Steel High, and it was a tremendous blessing that Dr. Ackerman and the Arlington group was supporting the high school at that time. Talk about how having Dr. Ackerman there helped Clayton in that situation.
I think it was very fortunate that he was there. That could have turned out significantly worse than it did. Actually, it turned out quite well. His unconsciousness obviously was due to a formation of a significant concussion, which actually caused some bleeding into the brain itself. Dr. Ackerman being on the sidelines and doing immediate care for that individual insofar as making sure he didn't move, insofar as turning his head to the side because he was also throwing up, insofar as watching him very carefully, was essential for that young man to still be here.
Thank you for watching Up Close and Personal with Arlington Orthopedic. For the full interview with Dr. Cordes on concussions in sports, go to advancedhoops.com.